Hey, we are live. We are direct with Laurie, who is a world-class weight loss coach, helping people over 50 with a holistic low carb method. Welcome, Laurie. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing awesome. I'm really excited to be here today.
Yeah, I love you're busy. You're busy on YouTube. You're busy serving clients and with your containers. You're busy, which is what life's about.
Yeah,
Um,
it's pretty
yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. Tell them a little bit in terms of what you do, yeah, let them know in terms of what you do.
All right. Well, as a certified functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, I have taken the dress process, which is functional diagnostic nutrition, with my lived experience. And I've created the holistic low carb method based around living a low carb lifestyle, which is part of my lived experience. So everything that I have been learning over the past 25 years, I've incorporated into this program, which is the process to just help people collapse the time it takes to not only get healthy so that you can get more longevity, have a longer lifespan, and then as that's happening, we're getting healthy to naturally lose the weight. So that's where we can reset the metabolism, drop that 40 pounds more, depending on how long you're focused on it. But it really jumpstarts your whole metabolism. And just that's how you prime weight loss.
Amazing. Perfectly said there. And look, I know that we've connected for the last couple of months. I've seen your content. I've seen you're very, very, very busy. But where were you specifically before we started working together? Because you were an expert. I scrolled your profile. I could see results all over the shop. And you were doing reels and lives, all of the things. So, but tell me, like, where were you, like, before we started working together in terms of selling your program?
Well, I wasn't able to sell it I mean, I had one client coming in, but selling the program was more complicated because I didn't have what you said was a method. I didn't state a method. I was going by aging beautifully and adventurously was a description, but it didn't feel, I think what it didn't feel like was an actual process that
Okay.
was attainable and that had the description in it. And so you were just like, here's a method. This is your method. And I'm like, wow, I've got a method. I didn't know that. And
Yeah.
so with you pointing it out with your vision and your clarity and giving me the words that I needed that I didn't understand I needed, it was able to guide me, which then helped me just that very day sit down and do a live that went viral that very day. And because I then had the all of a sudden I had new conviction, new insight, new certainty that I had a method that was a holistic low carb method that maybe other people needed to hear about. And so that was basically the driver right there. So you basically gave me my whole method in that one first session that we had together, and that was the guiding light that really pushed me forward.
Yeah, and look, I'm someone that's very big in terms of visuals. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it and we're gonna have a look down memory lane, shall we, in terms of the progress that we've made. And we're just gonna get your little description in terms of each step, right? Because sometimes we can talk about things, but as we know, like with the whole element of the whiteboard method, let's hit the visual and we're just gonna maybe have a look at each of these processes. So speak me through this, Laurie, like I've called this a one of zero offer because we created something that didn't necessarily exist, like the holistic low carb method. Talk to me about how this was the game changer, just tapping into this magic. And, we'll step into the YouTube video a bit later, but why was this so magical?
I think it was an accumulation of everything I've been working on, but I just didn't see it. And so when I started working with you, you opened up this doorway. You had a like a loop, like a little. I'm looking at it like a hula hoop, and it was a loop that I was just stepping through. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my gosh. That's exactly the next step that I need to have. And it pulled everything together. And at that point, I was able to use, because I've been using the term health adventure experience. And I've been saying I work with women over 50. And I've been trying to say, I am helping you with your health so you can lose the weight. But all of a sudden, I'm using the words custom. I'm all of a sudden using a weight loss and diabetes solution altogether for women over 50, and that this is your health adventure experience. And yes, you are worth it. And we're going to do this together, because with my lived experience, you not only get this process, you get all of this, and I will implement it 100%. And since I lived through it and come out of the fires, kind of bronzed and understanding all of it. And I marry that with FDN, and it's become this really huge process. And women over 50 are just like, wow, we actually have somebody to follow who does this, knows this, and they feel comfortable with it. And that
100%.
was just pulling me into understanding that whole concept as a package.
100%. And look at what happened, like literally, as soon as we got clear here, and let's actually sort of kind of dig in and look at this video. And it's almost as though like, oh my word, let's see if we can get that video up and running. Like you suddenly went viral with this particular video. Let's get this video up. Just describe to me here, like what happened here, like all of a sudden, bang, YouTube. Like we can see here 19,000 views, like all sorts of comments over here, like people saying, yeah, you are the woman, you are. And I actually listened to a good half an hour of this, and I was taking notes. Like this was absolutely brilliant. And it's almost as though because you've got the personalized offer, it just meant, correct me if I'm wrong, the content blew up. Yeah. So yeah, talk to us a bit about how this content blew and the confidence it gave you. Like it's all laid out there below, low carb method, everything like that.
Well, I think this just me having that vision that I actually have, not just you on a low carb diet, anybody could do a low carb diet, but all of a sudden I had a low carb method, and I actually had a process. And then with my lived experience, I am the person that could implement this. And for women over 50, there's a lot of talk out there. But if I've had from many clients, they'll come in, I went to this doctor, this functional doctor, that naturopath, but they just don't pull it all together with 6 diagnostic labs, give you that analysis, hold your hand weekly, and give you that 100% implementation. A doctor cannot sit with you. So I'm a functional nutrition practitioner, and not only trained, but lived experience of losing 100 pounds. And so over the last 25 years, I put all of that and that understanding into this video. And, and I'm just a normal person. I'm just like the next person. Anybody can do this. I did it.
Absolutely amazing. So what we're going to have a look next at is the actual essence of the whiteboard method, and why this whiteboard method actually helped to maybe help you to see what was possible. So tell me, like, when you first had a look at this element of whiteboard method, like, why was this important? Like, in terms of just to be able to just help you see the vision and everything like that?
Well, I was also like, I do a mind shift and a diet shift and a body shift, but also bringing that process together into how it's actually a method. Whereas, this low carb diet resets your metabolism. It is a method to do that so that you get that natural 40 pounds of weight loss. So for whatever reason, the way you were saying it, we came up with the word method as opposed to reset. And it just showed me that, wow, all of a sudden you named my program, and my program name was perfect. And then I added on the word holistic, because that's
holistic,
what I do, holistic lifestyle.
Yeah,
and that is completely different from a low carb diet that doesn't work for somebody, because when you do it holistically, it works, but you still have to understand what you're doing. And so that's what I educate my clients on and help them understand. And it's not just a low carb diet. This is 100% customized per the lab results. And, and it's personalized per your symptomology.
Yeah, stop there for a split second. And here is the key, and we're going to come on to it in terms of the steps. But how important has the element of personalization, you stressing personalization, how important has that been in terms of you selling your program? Like,
I think it's
stress.
very important because it's part of the selling feature
Yeah,
and it's something that's unique to me. So I
yeah,
am unique as the person who is selling my holistic low carb method. And basically people are, resonating with me. They could go
100%.
get their diet anywhere. They could do it themselves. They can go buy a book. But what you don't get the implementation of my lived experience and the education of this for that accountability.
Amazing. And we'll just move into of the last slide here. How did this feel like in terms of like just the whole element of people saying, yes, I'm gonna have a little bit of that. Hey, how do I pay you? Like it's almost as though it's like, you send me a message. Oh, another sale, Jay, and another. It's like my messages are sort of kind of going off. People are celebrating you in like different arenas and different containers. Like, how did this feel knowing, hey, look, I've got something that, hey, people are interested in and people will pay for?
Yeah, it felt really good to know that what I have been building really is possible and that it really does work. And that yet just fine tuning that message and building that conviction and that confidence in myself, all of a sudden, now that I can say I have a holistic low carb method, that was powerful because that's what's been guiding my whole sales process right now. Because, I even asked the question is like, why should I choose you? And my questions when they sign up for the calendar, if I were to choose you, why should I work with you? So, I mean, that's, part of what this is too is, if you want it, I can give it to you. You just have to pay me and we will do it together.
100%. I mean, I think we're stressing that we're doing it together. We're stressing that, hey, I'm not just someone that picked up a course yesterday. I'm a professional. This is not get rich quick. I have receipts. I
And it's a mission, it's my pain to passion to purpose. And it's
oh,
almost, and
beautiful.
so maybe it's like pain to purpose to my passion because it's developed through my lived experience and the pain that I went through. And it's become like a mission because it's bigger than me. This is about women over 50, and they're excited to come out of the woodworks and say, I'm doing this too. These are my results. This is so exciting. You're just like me. You're so friendly and down to earth, and I can totally resonate with you. And so this mission has become my promise, like if this is something you want, you can have it too. And I'm going to be here to model it for you and let you know that you can do this too. And this is your weight loss and diabetes solution if you want it.
100%. And I remember I was saying, look, in terms of your skill set, you could even probably get into business coaching at some point. And you said, Jay, look, let me leave that to the business coaches out there. This is my joy. This is my passion. I've got plans to do retreats and to write and to like. There's so many things, podcasts that we can do. But what would you say has been the main lessons with the whiteboard method as to how it's just made your life easier, just in terms of like from start to finish? I know we mapped it out from offer to
Mhm.
content to being able to map out the vision for your people. But what's been the main things like, Jay, look, this has helped me to this has catalyzed those paid in full coaching deals?
Well, they can really kind of see what the questions are, what the answers are, and then you can show them or tell them, this is what you said. You said you're a 10, that you're ready for action. And you said that you feel like you're going to die. And yeah, I mean, you can get 10 to 20 more years of your life if you actually do this. And when you're focused on being healthy, not only can we get you away from the cliff, we can turn you around back into your life for longevity. And then you get healthy to lose the weight. But it's not just losing the weight. This is the last time you'll ever have to do this again. I am the last practitioner you will ever have to work with again, because you will learn how to keep the weight off for good, permanently. And that this is a priceless process. You are priceless. And so if you want the health, you have to look at this as a health rebuilding program. You have to get healthy to lose the weight because there's some weight loss block in the way. but we will discover what they are and then turn that around and fix it. So you could get off the cliff, turn back to life, and start living.
Oh my word. You go, girl. You go, girl. You make it. Look, you have a call in 1 hour. All I'm saying is that lady better have her bulletproof cyber vest on, because I wouldn't want to be with her if she's gonna say it's too
Yeah.
expensive,
And
or hey, I'm not ready.
one of the things you've been talking about too is like, this is service. We're in here for service. This is not they chose to come on this call. They want the information, they want the program. And it's up to us to just show them how they can get that. And that as this service, it's a very visual process. I mean, like 60% more retainable information when they can see it themselves that this is what they're going
100%.
for.
Yeah.
And that makes it good to know that, for me to remember too, that I'm not just selling them something, I'm giving them what they want. And I'm just talking them more into it so they could see what they need to do.
100%. And we have to understand the human mind. The human mind will always want to go to safety. It's like, I know Laurie has the best program for me. I know Laurie has the best process. I know Laurie is the best person to help me. I know in terms of my personality, I need someone like Laurie, but we still need that guidance. And correct me if I'm wrong, like when we use the whiteboard method, the coaching process starts before they pay us a dime. That holding the frame as the leader starts before they pay us a dime. Is that correct?
Right. So, I mean, a lot of it too on my side, to give them just a quick wind, is just to show them the mindset and how they can have that peace of mind back, how they can get their smile back, and how having the accountability is what they're really looking for in that 100% implementation, to show them that they can do this and it will help. It will work as long as they follow the implementation process.
100%. So just really quickly, what we're going to just show them is just a nutshell of what we've done, like the 5 main points of what we've stressed. And then we're going to just sort of kind of wrap things up. But first of all, I think it was the personalized data-driven offer. Now, data-driven being like, tell me, how important has it been to say, hey, I'm leaning into the over 50s? Why has the over 50 market been a great one to like tap into?
Well, for me specifically, I'm 61. And so this has been my process and the life that I've lived and all my experience. I lost the last 60 pounds in menopause. So you cannot say that you cannot lose weight in menopause. And so, menopause is more broad, that it's more like solving the symptoms specifically. I don't treat symptoms. I support the whole person. That's why I run 6 diagnostic labs to find hidden healing opportunities, which are the weight loss blocks. And then we just bust through those weight loss blocks and support the whole person. And so this is personalized based on your lab work. And so that is how you do it. This is not just a cookie cutter diet. It's not a diet at all. It's actually making the mind shift, the body shift, the diet shifts, and actually pulling it all together. It's a method, not a diet.
Oh, wow. That is absolutely powerful. And it's like when you're fueled with that in the offer, it means that when you're producing content, correct me if I'm wrong, you're able to elaborate on it and enjoy the content knowing that is based on the very personalized offer. Is that correct? The content lands more cogently, correct?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I did have somebody on Instagram say, I've been watching your videos and, I would really like to start working with you. So we're chatting.
Honestly, like when I watched, so I thought, okay, Laurie's a great soul. Let me watch 5 minutes of this. And then I find myself, half an hour later, 35 minutes later, me and my English tea in my hand, still enjoying learning about how the bad wheats and breads are going to spike your insulin, and thinking, let me throw this bread in the bin, because of Laurie. Now, the next part, I'm not sure if you've leaned into this or not, but are you doing personalization in the DMs? Are you sort of kind of like giving voice notes and visuals, or maybe not so much?
I started doing more of those voice notes as you recommended and being more personalized that way. And something I've struggled with a lot. It's like, following through, but definitely knowing that I can connect more readily and just pre-sell them with a personalized, voice DM is a really powerful process to get in touch with people.
100%, because I guess it's 2 ways, right? You're qualifying them, and they're qualifying you in a
Right.
sense. I jumped on a call like this morning, Australian time, and then in the DMs, the coach said to me, "Hey, make sure that you watch this video before our call." And then I said, "No, okay, I will watch. I've watched the videos already, but here's 5 questions that I've got. So please, could you have these ready?" And then I dropped the 5 questions in the DMs, and so it works both ways. You know, how is the prospect in terms of like, and how are you as a coach? Like, so it works both ways, and it's the intimacy, correct? Like in terms of having that intimacy in the DMs, correct?
Right, and that's how that video was. It was from my heart. It was very intimate. It was my origin story, you know, just walking into the living room from outside, and my husband then at the time just didn't even look at me and just asked me, "When am I going to lose the weight?"
This is it. And you've hit the nail on the head. Like the best marketing is stories, telling your stories, which is why in the whiteboard method, we try and lay out the stories that we have and the stories of our clients as well. So that is the power.
Yeah, and then women over 50, they were familiar with the fat-free era, and they were all like, "Yeah, I remember that," and yeah, it didn't work for me either.
Yeah, and that's the point. How have you found? I mean, I think the power of what we've been speaking about is you haven't necessarily, like, I know the whiteboard's been giving you a couple of issues like here and there, but correct me if I'm wrong, you've been able to show people visually on a Google document, or like how have you done it visually?
You know, I started using the whiteboard and laying it out, but what that did too is, you know, wasn't able to implement right away because there was a glitch. I was still
Of
learning it,
course.
but I'm doing the process on paper and speaking
Ooh.
from that personalized whiteboard method to kind of pull it all together in my head, be more succinct, you know, maybe not overtalk them, and to just give them that visual in that direction.
Yeah, and you've just hit the nail on the head because I've had clients sign up people from literally a napkin. So if you just quickly just share the screen, so you don't necessarily need to always have you don't need to have something on board. You could it literally be that you just write it on a piece of paper, just map it out to people. Is that correct? You don't have to necessarily have a whiteboard in front of you. Is that correct?
Right. So I just put it down on paper and I use that visual to give the visual to my clients using my voice more so. But it helped to guide me into having the right voice and to do the right personalized support.
Personalized support, which comes on to the final element. And I found this to be so important because people want to see, okay, in the future, working with you, am I going to be left alone? Is there going to be 55 Kajabi videos? The curse of Kajabi videos, right? It's like, damn you, I've had enough of these videos. Let me out. Help me, please. So how important has it been with you to really speak about the personalized delivery? How
I mean,
important has it?
it's one of the most important processes of my low carb method because it is part of my lived experience that created the holistic low carb method. And
Mhm.
so I give 100% implementation on a weekly basis with cell phone contact. And I don't use AI at all for anything, and not even for my post or any of my stories. Everything comes from my heart and my soul, and I throw it out there. And I do that with all of my clients. Everything is personalized. Most practitioners say, "Oh, you know, you charge by the hour, you do an hour, you do 45 minutes, you don't give them any more support than that." And I'm like, well, I want my clients to have results. And so I am going to be there to make sure that they are tuned in to what they need to do for accountability.
100%. Well said there in terms of going above and beyond. And just, I know we wanted to quickly show, this is just a quick example of such neat. I wish my handwriting was like that neat. Who needs a whiteboard when you can write like that? I love the way you've laid it out on paper. So it's almost as though you have the notes there as well. You could probably even do this on a Google document as well. So you're not confined to a whiteboard, a Zoom whiteboard. It could be a piece of paper or Google Sheet, but the key is the visual there to like help people, correct?
Right. And I even do the metabolic analysis that way. I have a aspects chart that shows metabolic chaos and your weak links. And it's the
Okay.
whole, I use that whole process and I lay it out. I put every single symptom on there that they've got elevated, and they could see the chaos they have in their body with 300 to 500 symptoms in the body. I don't treat a symptom. I support the whole body. So that's very visual.
Powerful. So how can they get in contact with you in terms of how can you help people? Because a lot of my audience, are women over 50. So how can you help them, and how can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, I mean, my email is Lori Ballou. So that's LORIBALU @gmail.com. And I'm on Instagram all the time. If you want to just hang out with me on Instagram, I'm at Lori Ballou Weight Loss there. And I seem to be the only Lori Ballou. So make sure you put an A in there. And then I'm on, YouTube. So come follow me, check out my viral video and hear my message and my story and my conviction. And women are saying that, thank God you're out there. It's just exactly what we needed to hear. And I think it's a community. This is a like-minded tribe. And this is where giving hope to women over 50 who feel like they're dying is like, you don't have to choose to die. You can get 20 more years of your life just by getting this information that the medical system will not give you.
Absolutely powerful. What would you say to anyone maybe thinking about the whiteboard method? Like they're thinking, I'm an expert here, I've got value, but I'm not, people are saying I can't afford it, or I'm not being able to articulate my value. What would you say as a esteemed expert in your field? As an expert, what would you say to anyone thinking about the whiteboard method?
So using the whiteboard method, get your message across more visually so that people can truly see that what they're doing or what they said, they can see what they said. Because a lot of times people don't have anyone to talk to, don't have anybody to really, express their feelings, and then to have it kind of heard, captured, and just, reiterated on a whiteboard or on a piece of paper. And you get to remind them, well, this is what you said. How important is this to you, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
And
this is life or death. I mean, you can, find the money because you're important, because basically it comes down to being priceless. I mean, if you can show them that all of what they're doing is priceless, there is really no objection left.
that is so powerful. I mean, if something is priceless, we no longer are shy to explore their abilities to. And I think you mentioned to me earlier in the role play, hey, look, can someone invest in you? Like, who is going to invest in your dream? Who is going to invest in you to help you to fulfill your destiny? And it's almost as though, like, when you believe and when you remove the barriers, then they say, okay, this is something that she believes in.
Yeah,
And we can borrow Laurie's belief. Yeah.
Conviction and certainty, and the method. It's all, you helped me pull it all together and see it as a whole total vision that I was selling as a package, which I didn't really see. So you helped me tie that all together.
And this is it, where we can actually now sort of kind of see, okay, that we are now making the impact. And like, there's a masterclass tomorrow, like based on, hey, 11K in 48 hours, based on your case study. And that's the whole power there. So, that's absolutely fantastic, guys. If you want to take up the whiteboard method and kill it, just like Lori has killed it, feel free to request a whiteboard script from myself, right whiteboard below. And more importantly, Lori, thank you for serving. Thank you for being an inspiration. Just really someone that is here to serve, and someone that is diligent. You're diligent in everything you do, and you're thorough. And I'm wishing you all of the success with your 3 and 7 mile hikes as well that you take on Sundays. Brilliant.
Yeah, well, that's just, it's a lifestyle, and it's a health adventure lifestyle. So it's an experience. And I mean, there's so many things I could say about it, but basically it's reverse aging. I mean, why get sick if you don't have to? You can stand up walking till you're 90 or 100 if you choose to do so, or you can let yourself be sick. And so that's what my mission is, to let women know that they don't have to choose sick. Change it.
Women, you do not have to choose sick. That is absolutely fantastic. Thank you ever so much, Lori.